bright and beautiful morning to our esteemed viewers, and welcome to the Advent Cable Network Nigeria. This is Now Streaming, your favorite morning talk show where we discuss trending news and discuss on burning issues that affect our daily lives. I am Rachel Ibun, and I have with me in the studio this morning Mrs. Amaka Wigijofo. You're welcome, ma.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for coming. And also in the studio with us is Pastor Stephen Awoji-Agada.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure having you here this morning. How has leaders placed in position of authority fared? Are they really handling the positions that they ought to? Can we say we have leaders working with God in places of authority? These are some of the questions we'll be pondering on as our guest do justice to the topic before us, which is working with God in leadership. Please join us in the discussion segment with your contributions, thoughts, and opinions through our various social media handles and via the contacts showing on your screen. So the topic before us this morning, working with God in leadership. We have these two, working and leadership. Can you say something about it?
Well, walking implies that you're putting one foot in front of the other deliberately, going towards a destination. That's the implication of walking. And then leadership means the capacity to be in front. That means that you have a vision, you have a goal, you have an idea. You're not like many people who are confused and milling in circles. You're somebody who has a clear consciousness of where you ought to be going and where people ought to be going. And you're moving in front because you're the one that knows the way. And when you turn around and look behind you, you will find people who are following you because they have the confidence that you know the way. And that is what leadership is. Leadership, as we have always said, is different from rulership. They are two different things.
Okay. So, Pastor Agada, before you answer that very question, now bringing the terms together, working with God in leadership. What can you say about that?
Well, working with God in leadership, I will simply put, to walk with God is to have a relationship with God, to have a heart for God, to have the fear of God, to be conscious of God, to put God in focus, so that when you are dealing with the people you are leading, you measure it on God's standard. If God is here, how would He respond to these people? You are somebody that have a quest to search for God and search for His counsel. So if we have leaders who have relationship with God, then the leading process becomes easier because He is the overall leader. God is the overall leader. So to walk with Him means to have a heart for Him, to have a quest to be like Him in whatever you do for Him and to the people. Okay. So working with God in leadership is simple. Be a God chaser as you lead God's people. Okay.
Okay, Ma. Do you have anything to say about
I think I've already said, he basically joined the two terms together. Walking with God in leadership means, like he said, that you know God, you're following God, and the people are following you. You know, St. Paul came to a point in his ministry when he said, follow me as I follow Christ. Yes. The moment you see that I'm no longer following Christ, that means I'm not qualified for you to follow me, because definitely I'll misdirect you. Yeah. So
I'll still stay with you, Ma. Yes. How do you know when a leader is not working with God?
How do you know? There will be chaos. I think it's obvious. When a leader, because you see, God knows the next step. Sure. God knows what lies beyond the horizon. We don't know. In fact, you don't know what's going to happen in the next minute, but God knows. So when you find somebody who is walking with God, he will make few errors of judgment. It's not that he won't make any at all, because he's human. But he will make fewer errors of judgment. You will find that that person will be empathetic, he will be sympathetic. Towards, it's just like what we were saying in the earlier segment, you feel for people. You are not unconcerned. When people are starving and dying and suffering and sorrowing and turning to crime, you won't say everybody has their own thing to do now. You will feel it because you are all about these people. So when you find a leader who leaves his milieu in chaos. Everything is scattered. Everybody's going their own way. Everybody is doing whatever they like. You don't need to be a diviner to know that this person is not a godly leader. No matter what the person professes, whether he's in the mosque every 5 seconds, or he's in the church and even answers pastor or deacon or whatever, you don't need anybody to tell you that this person doesn't know God.
Pastor?
If a leader is off God completely, whatever he does will be off track. If a leader does not fear God, because first, who made him a leader? The Lord made him a leader. If God put you up to rule the people for him, or lead, I'm careful with the word rule, lead the people for him, and he is not your focus, you will start leading the people astray.
For yourself.
For yourself. So, as soon as a man is less of the Spirit of God, is less of the counsel of God, is less of relationship with the people of God, he will be less of God, and he will be less to lead. Sure. He will be less to lead. So if a man is no longer at par, in relationship with God, he starts taking wrong decisions. His judgment will be upside down. His decisions will be upside down. He takes decisions out of his pride. Who is a man that doesn't have anything with God? Well, the first thing you will know is pride.
Yes. Doesn't listen to
a pastor who have lost contact with God becomes proud.
Just him.
Yes. He becomes selfish. He becomes. If not, what will somebody just carry? You are a leader of a community. You took their 20 billion to go and use for what now?
Something
you are selfish. Yes, you have lost conscience.
How long will it take you to spend 20 billion?
In fact, if you are to spend 50,000 naira every day for 84 years, you will have not finished 1 billion. So,
viewers, do call in, share your thoughts on the topic before us this morning. Next question: how can we identify leaders that are working with God, both in the church, traditionally, and in the society? How can we identify them?
I think one major thing about such leaders is that their focus is on people, not on projects, because the projects are for the people. So if you find, because God's interest on planet Earth is people. God's interest on planet Earth is not trees, it's not oceans, it's not all those things are there to serve man. So you will find that a leader who is in tune with God will be one who is watching the countenance of the people that he's leading. He is one who they have his ear, not for gossip, but for him to make assessments. These things, how are they impacting people at the grassroots? How are these projects working? Has your life become better in the past 3 years? You will find that this is somebody who is going to be receiving feedback, operating not solely on feedback, because remember, he's principally listening to God, but he is trying to see the impact of what he's receiving to make sure that he's on the right track. That he's not just there on his own, that we're actually working for the people. Jesus Christ said, I did not come to serve. It says when people finish talking about servant leadership, they'll go to their village and mount an edifice that costs 50 billion. He said, I didn't come to serve. I didn't come to be served. I came to serve and to give myself a ransom for many. That is the life of a leader who is a godly leader. He is interested in serving, not by word of mouth, but for real, to make life better for people, to leave a legacy. So that 20 years from now, people are saying, when this man was here.
Sure.
When this man
can
was
always
here.
look
May
back
God
and
bless
say,
him and bless his posterity. How many Nigerian leaders can we say that that is being said concerning them? Amen. Or in different facets.
If a leader is not concerned about legacy, if a leader is not concerned about the people, the Bible said, after God finished making everything, he said he did not let rain to fall on the earth because there was no man to tend it. What does it mean to tend? To care for, to manage. To care for, to manage. A leader that does not care about his people has lost relationship with God. You don't care about your people.
Then why are you there?
In fact,
Why are you there?
Lost the right to live.
You have lost the right to live, actually.
That's the truth.
So you must be concerned about your people. The state of governance should concern you. The state of the people should concern you. Legacy should concern you. Truth, tranquility,
and transparency.
should concern you. So we have leaders who are completely out of this pattern of right leadership that we're talking about. They are not transparent. And you are telling me that this is...
They're not accountable?
Yeah, they're not accountable.
If you try to hold them accountable,
they will send these boys after you. Yes, they will send these boys after you.
This one is not for me.
And then, yes.
Say my political...
They don't care that their kingdom should be ruled with tranquility. There's no equity. Then everything is just scattered. You don't care.
You form an enclave for yourself.
Somebody will tell me that, how many people even voted for me before I became a leader in so I don't owe them anything. Another person will say, this is my office. I came by appointment. Nobody influenced it for me. God brought me. If God brought, don't you know that Bible says his name shall be called Jesus, for he shall deliver his people from their sins. Any leadership position that is not for your people, you should die.
And not for deliverance.
It's not for deliverance. You are not worthy of living. Why are you a governor? Why are you a chairman? Why are you the president? Why are you a commissioner? You are there for
the people.
The people.
Government or the people, by the people, for the people.
Yes. If you lose sight of the people, then you should be out of sight.
Now, working with God as a leader, we're not only narrowing it to the political.
Yes.
No.
The church also.
You see, let's even bring it to the family. Let's bring it down to the family. The family is a miniature of the society. While I was coming in the car, I was talking with my friend in the car, and I was saying that there are a number of fathers who have lost leadership in their homes. Leadership is not by shouting. No, it's not braggadocious. No, that one is bullshit. Leadership is knowing what to do, when to do, how to do, and presenting it by example.
For the benefit of all.
For the benefit of all. A man that cannot have rule over his own house, how can he now have rule over the church? How can he have now rule over the community? So in every sphere of leadership that God put in your hand, or that God sits, it's the same parameter. Lead for the people, lead for legacy, because every man is subject to die, but legacies do not die. Legacies live forever. Character live forever. Good leadership, the taste smells forever. So when people are taking off the track of let me live an example, let me die and let my name remain here. What's the name of the president of South Africa that died? Is it not Nelson Mandela?
Nelson Mandela, yes.
How many years did he rule? 4.
And yet.
And he was done. And
at death, his name is an example. We have people here who have ruled for 8 years and are forgotten. We have people here who have ruled who have stayed there for how many years,
on and off.
And their community do not even know that they are there.
They don't feel any impact.
Now let's bring it into the church. We are talking from the church perspective at this point. I'm a pastor. If you are on the pulpit and you are not touched with the pains of the people in the pew, my brother, are you God called you or you called God? What leadership are you providing when people are hungry in your church and you are tasking them? People are going through pains, people are going through hell. All you know is to just come and shout and, collect their money. You don't feel their pains. Who is Jesus? He's a priest that feels the pains of his people. This is a leader. That's the right pastor we should have. That's the right imam that we should have. That is the right governor that we should have. That's the kind of president we should have.
That's the family head we should have.
That's the family head we should have. That's the kind of husband or wife we should have. The pain of your people. That's the right leadership. If not until we drag people back to reorient them on this platform, we will still have problems.
Viewers, do call in, share your thoughts on the topic before us this morning. You hear of political leaders when coming into positions of power before elections, you hear things like, I was called by God, God spoke to me. Even in our churches, our pastors, you hear them, God called me into this ministry. And I know God, when he calls you, he equips you. So do we say most of the leaders we have now?
You know, he said something earlier. That somebody will tell you on camera, you didn't vote for me. None of you here voted for me. So you don't have a right to tell me what to do and what not to do. I will do what I want. And you will find out, you know, the Bible says, Jesus Christ said, by their fruit, you shall know them. So I would say that given the product, given the output, that we are all living in the pain of it, it's either that these people were called and then they forgot who called them. Or at some point, after God called them, they now recalled themselves. Or that they were never called in the first instance and they imposed themselves on the people. Because if you impose yourself on the people, you don't owe the people anything. You can take from them without giving back. Because, you know, you were not democratically elected. You were elected by whatever means it was. So I will say that many of our leaders call themselves, in conclusion, many of them, whether it's in the pulpit or wherever, I said they didn't hear the call of God. How do I know they didn't hear the call of God? Because their congregation are not feeling the impact. The society is not feeling that, their communities are not feeling the impact. So they didn't hear the call. Or if they heard, they've forgotten that voice that called them. Before you answer that question, let me throw this at you too. What are the benefits of working with God as a leader?
Number one, all God called, or rather, let's not be spiritual about it. All that are given seats of leadership are equipped for it. The president, for example, does not need to be everything now. He doesn't need to be an architect. He doesn't need to be a surveyor. The only thing the president needs is wisdom, accuracy, wisdom, accuracy. The people that are around you have all the other things you need. So you are equipped. Except you close your eyes to them. You go and carry a foam seller to come and make a minister of water resources. When somebody is selling mattress, what does he know about water? Nothing much. That tells on how misequipped you are. You know, you can be given equipment, you can be given biro, pencil, and eraser to write, and then you take eraser and start using it to write.
When you don't know what it is.
Yes, you don't have clue. Now, what's the benefit of being a good leader, isn't it? The benefit is that when the righteous is on the throne, the people rejoice. The people rejoice. If not that I don't want to implicate some persons who are still in power. Somebody, you know, in one country that all of us know, was given opportunity to stand in for his boss for about 1 month. Things turned around. In a country that all of us know. 1 month. Just standing, Organo Day, just standing for 1 month. Their currency was empowered. Many things started taking shape. That is somebody that has correct spirit. That's one of the benefits. So in a leader that has the fear of God, he makes people happy, he brings development, he brings order. And of course, you know that one of the first major laws in heaven is order. You achieve order when you have security in place. You achieve order when people are secured, when people are safe. You can sleep with your eyes open, with your eyes closed. Not somebody like me who will wake up in the night. I'll go and check, I'll go to the gate, I'll check my gate, I'll come and check my door, I'll check all the go to the bedroom again, lock the door. Double lock it again. So every leadership should be beneficial to the people, alleviate the people of their pains, remove pains, make life soft for them. Solomon, You know, one of the sons of Solomon told the people, the elders advised him, said, this is what your father did, this is what your father did, alleviate the pains of the people. He left, he went and took counsel from another person, from the young people. He said, look, if my father used whip, I'll use scorpion. No benefit in government. Did it last? If you are in leadership and your leading processes or procedure does not benefit the people, you will not last. You will last there, you will last in life.
Sorry, I just want to add, and you will not also rest.
You will not rest.
Because our people say that Pikin will say, Mama, no go rest.
You don't go rest.
Shima, you will not sleep.
Oh, because if they cry, Adam.
Yeah, so wherever you find yourself, you will be sharing in the pains of the people vicariously, whether you like it or not, because they won't let you rest. Their cries will not allow you to sleep.
And then the problem you create, you will come and meet it.
Yes.
Do you know?
When you leave
because
leadership.
if you break down order by the way you led, you have bred criminals. You have bred
who are
thieves.
waiting for you.
They'll be waiting for you. It's like you are sitting on that seat, like you are sitting on a gunpowder. When you come out of there, they will kidnap you.
Sure.
You know, so you don't have security apparatus around you forever.
Yes.
One day, it will come back to you.
You will meet your people.
You will meet your people. It will get to you.
But in 60 seconds,
yes.
Can we say we still have leaders who are working with God in this 21st century? And your last word of advice on the topic we're discussing?
I would say yes and no. The ones who are working with God know themselves. The ones who are working against the people know themselves. What is my advice? Work with God. If you say God called you, listen to God. Listen for his voice. Be patient. Don't be hasty. Follow what God is telling you. And at the end of the day, both you and the people that you are leading will arrive in a good place. Acknowledge God.
Acknowledge God.
Acknowledge
it is. Sir, your last word.
We have good leaders who decided by themselves not to be good. We have. Elijah said to God, I am the only prophet alive. Kill me. God said to him, oh boy, I have 7,000 that have not bowed the knee. God has people here. If the leader decides to be good, sometimes the people around him could cloud him up.
Sure.
So that his ears will get deafened. He will drive on the road, he won't see. So every leader should struggle to find themselves and gauge themselves. If you sign out a contract, for example, go to the site. Don't follow what people are telling you. You are a human being still. Now, what's my counsel? Fear God. Because every man will be brought to book. Every man will be brought to book. Every man will be brought to book. Whether you do well or you do bad, you'll be brought to book. But I advise that you do well. Why not do well? Because whatever you do, your children will still repeat.
Sure.
If you build an edifice for yourself, your children will reject the edifice in their time. The house my father built, I didn't sleep. I broke it. I destroyed everything. Because I felt it's not my time. It's not my age. You understand? So whatever you think you are trying to save for this, your children, they will throw them away.
They will reject them.
Just be good for the people. The people, your name will sustain them.
Sure.
I preached a message recently titled, Do You Have a Name? What can your name do for people? Can your name open door or close the door? You left an office, your daughter went there to get a job, they shut your daughter out because of your attitude, because of your name. You have died many years ago, your grandfather was in a place, you come there, you mention his name, come in. Do you have a name? So every man should, and that talks about legacy. Leave a legacy. When we meet you on the road, we should be able to say, thank you for living with us. Sure. Thank you for leading us. Sure. Thank you for, even if you die, and we meet you at the other
your
side,
name still.
we say, thank God you were born. Because whether you like it or not, we will meet.
Sure.
Either some people will meet you in hell, or we will meet you in heaven.
Okay, now on a lighter note, Nigeria... Super Eagles lost to... It's on the lighter note, because where I'm coming from, they are attributing the loss down to Buhari's
For what now? For what?
Okay.
Does the president play football? Oh, well, that's
was he one of the men on the field?
On the lighter, was he one of the men on the field? You see, on a lighter note, that's funny anyway. But you see, in Nigeria, we always look for who to blame. His call does not have anything to do with the field. The only problem we have is we are always easily relaxed in the face of struggles for success. It's a Nigerian problem. We get relaxed easily. How can you have won 3 matches and then your first leg in the second phase,
you're out?
Just dropped out.
You're out. You know why? They took those guys for granted. Don't take anybody for granted in this life. Don't take your driver for granted.
Not at all.
He can throw you down.
Well,
So how deep was the technical quality?
What is the technical quality? And I heard that
beyond the coach,
the Guavon just stepped aside.
out.
For what? Why should he step aside?
one loss and you're out.
Was he okay? Who shouted on him to step aside? Because you made 1 loss, you step aside. Then they will bring another person.
he was appointed as an interim.
And then, so why should he step
The
aside?
interim has not finished.
He should stay there to swallow the pills of the shame.
And learn from it.
He should stay there and learn from it. What did I do wrong? And stay there and then bring up another stuff. He's not running away. If you run away from your battles, you will come back to them. So he shouldn't have gone anywhere. Or even if he was terrified to go and not to be sacked, it was all wrong decisions. If you fail, stay there, correct the failure. Make the corrections, and then bring us another phase. In Nigeria, if somebody fail once, they say go. If he fail, they say go. Don't you know that there is lesson in every failure? You don't want people to fail? I know we have been failing consistently. Football in Nigeria, to me, is child play. Anyway.
It's also a reflection of the decay. The corporate decay.
The corporate decay.
It's part of it.
This is part of the corporate decay. So let's look away from who made call. Is his call?
We're going to end it here today.
What are
on
they
the
telling
show.
me?
Thank you.
What are they telling me?
Thank you very much
leave the
for
man
calling.
alone.
We're very grateful. Thank you, Pastor, for calling.
Thank you very much.
When we call on you next time, we hope you oblige us.
Yeah, why not? Amen. Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And a big thank you to our phenomenal crew and to our viewers. You are amazing. Thank you for allowing us a bit of your morning. It's pre-election year. Do you have your voter's card? If not, please go get it. Your vote counts. Get informed on how the electoral process works. The decision process is our collective responsibility. Now, more than ever before, we need to speak up against wrong. If you see something, say something to the appropriate authority. Most importantly, do not forget that God is our ultimate protector, and we should all put our trust in Him alone. Do have a productive day. I am Rachel Ibun.